Check. Hey, Shabbat Shalom, Israel. What up, Dre? What is the comment section? Subscribe. Hey, Shabbat Shalom, y'all. To everybody that keep the Sabbath. Of course, class finna start in about 15 minutes, so I ain't gonna be long. I just was making this video. What up, bro? Shalom. Shalom. Is that Shan Shan? Oh, Shalom, Makoti. It's Ashanti. Oh, okay. What's up? Yeah, I ain't gonna be on here long. I just got on here this morning. It's the Sabbath day. Yeah, I'm glad you caught my video from the beginning too. I'm just learning how to do this YouTube thing. So y'all gotta forgive me if it's kind of sloppy right now. I should have it down pack in a second. So y'all gonna see a lot more of me. But yeah, I was just getting on here real quick. I don't know if y'all checked out the show I went on. I went on the Brother G Man show last night. One of the urban apologists. He got a pretty decent little following on YouTube or whatever. He used to be with these other Christian apologists that that be having these little conflicts with the Hebrew Israelites. Yeah, you liked it. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of people telling me how much they liked it last night. Like, I don't know if they thought I was just gonna go on there and try to destroy the brother or something. But no, so basically, he's the first one that manned up, that wasn't scared to deal with Deuteronomy 32 and 26. Of course, he had never read it before, so I didn't expect him to do too good. But he tried. He tried to say it meant, but I'll read it to you. If you know it, Deuteronomy 32 and 26, it say, I said I will scatter them to the corners, and I will cause the memory of them to cease from among men. And he said that meant that the Jews wouldn't be a nation no more, a official nation no more. And it was fulfilled in 1948 when they went back to the land. Now it clearly says the memory of them. Now, hold on, this gonna do it again. So I'm finna give y'all quick 3 verses to any so-called African American, if you believe in the Bible. And y'all know I don't even just Bible thump everybody like that, but this is a time for it, and this is a very good time. So Deuteronomy chapter 32 and 26. I'm gonna tell you why it's about to start a lot of shockwaves, because it's so simple. I don't care what version you look at. It's basically, it's plain and simple. So Deuteronomy 32 and 26. It says, I said I will scatter them into the corners. I will make the remembrance of them to cease from among men. The remembrance of them. Do y'all hear that? The remembrance. It ain't say nothing about they wouldn't be a technical nation organized, you know what I'm saying, in the land until so and so and so. So no, it literally says the remembrance of them. So how does that happen? The remembrance of them to cease from among men. So in order for the other nations to, you know, forget who you are to a degree, you got to forget who you are. This never happened to the fake Jewish people. And I could have got into a long thing last night and breakdown of how the Idumeans or the Edomites went from geography, from because you know the land of Edom used to be south of Israel, and it just disappeared off the map for a long time. And then it, you know, people like, where did it go? Where they just became the Israelites. That's all they did. When Israel was taking out the land, they just started claiming it. It's a lot of things I could have got into. Right. I could have got into that, but I know the brother, with respect to him, I know he's used to a different type of thing. As far as I don't see him getting that in depth in it, but I might go back on that Sunday and talk to the brother. Them the only two I really go to him, and I still owe so real to sit down. You know, so that's that. But so with that being said, let me say this real quick. Deuteronomy chapter 32 is very important. Whenever y'all get a chance, read the whole chapter in its entirety, because it's kind of like a rundown history of Israel. And that's what makes it so important, because you got to ask yourself, when did this part happen? 26. And it's going to take you right back to 4 chapters earlier, to the dreaded Deuteronomy 28 and 68 that everybody been trying to debunk, and which is why my title has Kevin Wesley's name in it. And I'll tell you about it now. So Deuteronomy 28 and 68 says this. So if you're an African American and you always wonder why you don't know your nationality, how come you used to be Afro, colored, Negro, and then like 85, Jesse Jackson gave you the name African American, which is 2 continents. When a nationality comes from a country, it's like 55 countries in Africa. Which one do you come from? Nobody calls themselves by a whole continent. So they're hiding something. But we just read Deuteronomy 32 and 26 said that he would scatter us and cause the remembrance of them to cease from among men. If I ask you your nationality and you don't know it, guess what? The remembrance of you has ceased from among men. That's why you don't know your nationality. See it? It's that simple. It's undeniable. Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Here we go. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. That's slave men and slave women. You will be sold on ships. So that's slave ships or bond ships, and no man shall buy you or save you or redeem you or recover you. Only one gonna do that is the king of you, which is Christ, Jesus Christ. That's who gonna do that. See how simple this is? So your ancestors went on a slave boat. Did nobody from Africa come over here to save you? They ain't send no dignitaries out, no nothing like that to come get you. You know what I mean? It didn't happen. But you went on them slave shows and you became slave men and slave women. Deuteronomy 32 and 26. Guess what else happened? When you were scattered with those slave ships, the memory of you ceased from among men. That's why you don't know your nationality. And you know, the brother asked me a decent question last night, but it was kind of funny. I didn't want to disrespect him and laugh too hard or nothing. But he asked me what was the exact time that that we stopped remembering who we was. And like I was trying to explain to him, me and the other brother that was on the show, that means the remembrance of us ceased from among men, meaning among us and amongst the other nations as a whole. So that would have been a progression of time. It's not like amnesia. You just wake up one morning, like we could have pinpointed, in 7th century AD, one night, the whole nation just woke up and couldn't remember nothing. No, man, it don't work like that. It's like if you look at something, if you compare Alzheimer's with what's the other one? I can't think of the other one, where people just slowly lose their memory. It's from generation to generation to generation, a little bit here, a little bit there. And then you will have outside opposing forces involved in things of that nature. You kind of look at the example of that during the Greek captivity. But that's another story where they tried to stop them from calling themselves by their names, but it didn't work. So Deuteronomy 32 and 26, people was connected to Deuteronomy 28 and 60. Yeah, dementia. Thank you. That's exactly what I was thinking about, Dre, dementia. And the last part is Isaiah chapter 1 and 3. So this is to you, Negro. This ain't to the Israelites who know already. This is to your everyday person. Isaiah chapter 1 and 3 says, it's real simple. Y'all used to hearing it. I'm just using these because it's a quick one. And our class started at 12, but it really ain't going to be started till like 12, 15. So give me 1 second. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3. Y'all already know it. Y'all might as well read along with me. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3. It said, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel do not know. My people do not consider. And again, if the ox know his owner, now look at the symbolism in this. An ox is a pet. He knows his owner. It's talking about a people who don't know their God. The next verse, and the ass his master's crib. Another pet don't know where he from. He don't know his home. That's his master's crib. If you have a pet and you let it out, you expect it to come home, come back to his crib. See, that ain't about no ghetto ebonics trying to connect it to the Bible. That's exactly what it means. You see what I'm saying? So Isaiah chapter 3 is telling my people Israel, he said, man, you don't know your God and you don't know where you from. And I love how he ended. He say, my people doeth not consider. Your average Negro that y'all walk up to, y'all know they don't consider where they from. They don't consider their culture. They don't consider what language they speak. They just don't. If you ask them a lot of times, especially if they're religious in these churches, they'll say it don't matter. And the only reason they say it don't matter is because they don't have an answer. And it sets this uncomfortable feeling in them, because it's like, how can you worship the strongest intellectual being in existence, meaning God, but you can't even find out something as simple in nature as where you come from? That's like a God-given right. Every nationality on earth knows where they're from except for us. That should put some type of light in your head. Like, is God that unfair that he just forgot about this one people? He ain't right about this happening to them nowhere in the Bible too. That's the tripped out part. He wrote, now this is like probably arguably the greatest crime against humanity ever. Speaking of the transatlantic slave trade and the sub-Saharan slave trade that happened before that with Ishmael and the Arabs. Same people though, us. Now these the greatest crimes against humanity. You mean to tell me God didn't know this was gonna happen? He didn't tell nobody about it? Come on, man. Not to mention the Israelites was in the land of Egypt for 430 years or so, right? You think it's a coincidence that the Negro over here been over here more than 430 some years? If you take the time from 1441 until now, this is the only 2 times anybody has ever been in an exile or captivity that long, ever in history, ever. Come on, people, we got to think. So to my brother, Kevin Wesley, if y'all don't know who he is, he got about 100,000 views too on this pseudo video. I remember when the brother first came out, he was a pastor, and I guess he had his awakening moment. And he made a video, and it kind of, it sent some shockwaves through, not to us, because at that time, plus currently, the Hebrews had been battling with Kemetic science. We was having a little Hebrew Kemet war. So shout out Hotep to any of my Kemetic brothers and sisters that's watching. This ain't about that, but I'm just really getting to the bigger point, is that if you're not well studied, stop putting stuff in the public. It's extremely embarrassing, because now this brother done put out another video, and Ron Divine Prospect has already debunked it, and it looks so bad the brother needs to snatch the video down. And my thing is, Kevin Wesley, when you made that first video, when you first came out about the Bible, you know, you found inconsistent, you know, a lot of the claims he was making, they was like elementary for us that are well studied and you know that deal with scholarship. But it's like anything else. If you run across something on YouTube or you listen to parenting and a lot of you know, people say a lot of cliche as terms and stuff, you know, like King James was a homosexual and all this type of stuff. If you never bother to go check that out yourself, you just automatically believe it. And I'm not saying whether King James was or not. This is not even what I'm talking about. I'm using that in general for all of those type of rumors that you hear. Jesus was Horus, which is so easy to debunk. You only debunk that by looking in Kemetic history. Look in Egypt history. Look in the Book of the Dead. Look at all of these different papyrus and pyramid texts. You will find out that that ain't nowhere in there. They tried to come up with a version of it later, basically recently, but that don't even add up. But if you look at any of the original Heru or Horus stories, they don't sound nothing like Jesus. He wasn't born a no virgin. He was born from necrophilia, which is a disgusting story that I'm not going to speak about because it's the Sabbath day. So I say that to say, before you go public and have all these people like dingbats flock into a video, please do your research, because the video he just made is trying to claim that Deuteronomy 28 and 68 was never translated. And in comparisons with the Dead Sea Scrolls, and you know, if you know anything about the Dead Sea Scrolls, it got like the original book of Isaiah in it or Yeshayahu and things of that nature, right? It's fragmented books. But this brother, somebody must have told him something and he jumped straight out the window again. I'm like, didn't he learn from the first time? Because he kind of went in hiding after the first one, because I guess some people jumped straight on him like, dude, that ain't true, and showed him the information or whatever. So Ron Divine Prospect been trying to reach out to the brother to have a sit down with him, and he showed their correspondence on his show. I just seen it. Go to Harbinger Ministries. I'm gonna put the link to Ron Divine Prospect show down in the description box. Matter of fact, it's in there, so you can click that and go watch Ron Divine Prospect literally rip to shreds that low-level claim that Kevin Wesley made. And matter of fact, when I seen the video, because I seen it a few days ago, speaking of Kevin Wesley's video about Deuteronomy 28:68, it's entitled How to Debunk a Hebrew Israelite or something like that. And as soon as I seen it and he got to talking about Deuteronomy 28:68 in the Greek I literally said, I'm about to make a video and debunk this right now. Because it's like one of those things that's like, I would say this is on a higher level of scholarship than his first debunking. Than his first claim, when you could tell that it was just straight pseudo. He just heard something, his uncle told him or something, and he made a video about it. This one almost looked like he did a little research, but nah, it's about on a 4th, 5th grade level. So instead of me burning up my time on that, I'm gonna invite everybody to Ron Divine Prospect, aka Ron Shields on Facebook. Go to his YouTube channel, Harbinger Ministries. I put the link in the box, and you'll see the whole backdrop of the Kevin Wesley situation and another horrible pseudo video that he put out. And y'all, if y'all can contact him, encourage that brother to please return back to God, study, because whatever this new energy is he found, it's dumb as hell. Like, it's literally got to be the dumbest force in creation. So, oh, you seen it? Yeah, Shashan say Ron Shields did great last night. Yeah, that's my nephew, man. He nasty on the scholarship. I don't expect nothing less from him. So that's why I say I'm gonna let him just tear this up. So everybody, go check out Ron Divine Prospects video. The link is in the description box. And he literally took the brother to school, and he tried to be fair and sit down with him, but I think the brother did his background check and found out he might have been in some trouble. So let this be a message to all y'all. Like the Deuteronomy 32 and 26 challenge, please study any subject. I don't care what it is. If it's how to smash ants, Learn to be a good ant smasher before you try to tell somebody else how to smash an ant. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop putting out bogus information. So with that, I say thank y'all for coming on, man. I love y'all. Peace to you, Dre. Peace, Shan Shan. Shalom, Micaiah. And Chemo, my brother Chemo Ben Israel. Grace and peace, brother. Love y'all. Grace and peace. Shalom.